Okay, here we go. The Keeper of Cheese. Brilliant. Now I know who to go to when I need cheese.
Stargazer's paying a particularly violent drug lord to destabilize the region by flooding it with cheap narcotics. If we don't intervene, we're looking at a full-blown economic collapse. If Stargazer's play relies on the drug lord, then we take him off the board.
Scout Ghost. This could be tricky.
Fire team, drop! Go, go, go!
Applying camo.
Voodoo 1, this is Zeus. Your target is a drug lord operating out of a camp at the following coordinates. Good hunting.
Oh, come on, man.
That's my man. Take him out and confirm the kill.
What is that?
Going for cover.
What the fuck?
A body double.
Just fucking
All right,
flew
this guy's
over me.
not fucking around. Fire team, find me intel that can narrow down where this asshole is. Let's get to the exfil point.
Head to the expo location. Rub that shit on you.
Oh, he's here. He's clicking away. He wants them spines. He can't have them spines without a fight, hopefully. Audio decoy, maybe.
Our best bet is a camp near the coordinates I'm sending you now. He can't hide forever.
We need to stay together.
Oh, there he is.
Contact advanced camo.
Voodoo, it looks like the stakes have been raised. Keep moving and stick together.
Alright.
We need to finish the mission.
Don't ghost.
He's
Yeah.
barricaded
No,
himself
he's going straight
inside.
for it.
Man, he's really making us work for it.
Alright.
All right, fighter, find his product.
Oh,
That doesn't
shit.
bring him out of his hole.
He's out there, is he? Don't go for the ammo right away. You haven't used anything, dude.
All right, now
He's
ice
around.
that motherfucker.
Gorilla in the AO.
Oh shit, he's like right there.
Hostiles have been confirmed in the area. Alert all camps and keep your comms open. Now they know you're in the area. Keep your heads down. Nice work, Voodoo. Let's see what else this prick was up to out here.
Hee hee
See
hee.
if he left a personal terminal behind.
I put rounds in it.
Not today, buddy.
Stand by, Voodoo 1.
Where'd you go? Where did you go?
Tight formation.
No, not far away. I was on the right track.
Fuck! They got camo!
Really? Yeah, fair enough. You do you.
Hostile spotted. They'll never see me coming.
Oh,
Looks like he stashed some goodies he didn't want Stargazer to know about. Since he doesn't need them anymore, it seems a shame to just leave him out here. Sending coordinates.
wonder where he went. He was like right there. But can I
We
say?
need to finish the mission.
Looks like our boy was busy. Grab the intel and anything else he can carry.
Found some mud. Hold up.
Now that you're loaded up with your bonus pay, head to the exfil and we'll bring you home.
Exfil already. Always
Let's
nearby.
get to the exfil point.
First aid found. Calling a chopper. Stand by.
Hang tight, Barthene. Heading to you now. Hostiles are attempting to escape. Stop them now! Reinforcements are on the way.
Hostile spotted. All contacts eliminated.
Nope. Where is he?
Sending out thermal noise. Deploying thermal device.
Oh.
This is OWLF. We have authority over this incident and are assuming command. Your orders are to secure the body until our agents can retrieve it. Cooperation will be rewarded.
You've captured a specimen and are preparing it for extraction. Destroy the evidence!
Chopper is taking fire. Almost there, Voodoo. Hold tight.
I am.
Good job, soldiers. This specimen is in excellent condition. A substantial bonus is being wired to your account.
Come on, something good. Nope. Well, might as well see if we can find a round as the Predator. Open some field lockers in the meantime and see what happens. Hope for something good. Perhaps a nice trophy. Come on. Ah. See how the rest of them go.
It's September 12th, 1987. My name is Major Alan Schaefer, also known as Dutch, U.S. Army veteran, Special Ops Commander, and the only survivor of the Valverde incident. These tapes are my personal testimony. Insurance. Should anything happen to me, what I found won't be lost. My team was brought in to rescue a Guatemala cabinet minister and his aide, who had been captured by guerrilla forces in Valverde. We located the downed helicopter, and the skinned bodies of those aboard hung in nearby trees, seemingly at the hands of guerrilla fighters. After assaulting their camp, it became clear that the mission was a setup. American intelligence had sent us to retrieve the captured agents who had been on recon for future military action. But none of that matters, because while we were clearing out the guerrillas, something was hunting us. An invisible killer tracked us as we made our way to the extraction point. In 24 hours, it wiped out my entire team. Rick Hawkins, Blaine Cooper, Mac Elliott, Billy Soul, Jorge Ramirez, and Al Dillon. The best soldiers I've ever known. Men I trusted with my life were butchered like animals. It was a nightmare. We walked in with guns, but it had perfect camouflage, advanced weaponry, and could see heat. It was strong and smart, a pitiless hunter. I waited, I watched, and when I understood it, when I saw how it hunted, I killed it. As it lay dying, in a final fuck you, it activated an explosive device. I barely escaped that blast. My radiation sickness and the crater of the explosion are the only evidence it ever was here. I've given my official statement to Agent Peter Keyes of the OWLF, but it's become clear I needed to investigate Valverde myself. Keyes was thorough, but he asked all the wrong questions. I mean, we have proof of alien life, but that life sees us as game. It's an alien whose first contact with humanity was to hunt us for sport. All Keyes cared about was the technology lost in the explosion. He can see the jungle for the trees. I see the threat. He sees the opportunity. Spies are all the same. I mean, we aren't people to them. We are assets. How many soldiers will he feed to those monsters just for a chance to steal from them or to learn from them? The government can't be trusted. So I will have to do this on my own. I'm cutting my treatment short and going off the grid. I will make my way back to South America to Valverde. I was told that there were stories about demons who make trophies of man. I'd like to hear those stories. April 8th, 1991. I'm not dead yet. I'll admit, I regret not curing my radiation sickness before I left. It made leaving the country difficult. I cashed in a few favors, took one too many off-the-book flights in rusted-out buckets, but I made it back to Valverde. The area was on lockdown, sealed by American intelligence for study. The complex centered on a crater from the alien self-destruction. I found the scientists slumming in a local bar. A few drinks.
Okay, here we go. Predator match. Hopefully I don't fuck it up. Come on. Here we go. Unavailable 45 has a mic. Good. Got them both.
Get over here and help. Target is on the attack. Get me up. I'm not dying. We're compromised. Thanks, soldier. Shut up. You ain't got time to wait. There you are. Target. I'm reloading.
Oh, they saw me.
Contact! Get over here! Keep firing! We got it!
Not usually the way I like to do things.
Eyes open! Look out! I'm bleeding bad!
Is that all of them? Oh, it is. Damn. Didn't expect that to go so quick. Yeah, I go into game chat.
Absolute dog shit.
Dog shit, you say? GG. Yep. That's what I fucking thought. To be fair, I did want to get 7 kills. It was an accident killing all 7 of them right off the bat like that. But oh well.
April 8th, 1991. I'm not dead yet. I'll admit, I regret not curing my radiation sickness before I left. It made leaving the country difficult. I cashed in a few favors, took one too many off-the-book flights in rusted-out buckets, but I made it back to Valverde. The area was on lockdown, sealed by American intelligence for study. The complex centered on a crater from the alien self-destruction. I found the scientists slumming in a local bar. A few drinks, a couple of threads later, he was ready to talk. It wasn't much, barely anything I didn't already know. The blast emitted a form of radiation they'd never seen before. Some believed it was extraterrestrial, some didn't. Either they're not too bright, or there's nothing to find. I decided to let them keep searching in vain. It kept them busy and off my trail. I've been touring villages and small towns using the cover of an author writing about South American folklore. I don't know if any of them bought in, but they took my money and told their stories. The closer they were to the jungle, the more stories of devils in the trees. Some were bullshit, made up on the spot, but some carried consistencies that I couldn't ignore. Whatever it was, the demons who make trophies of man, the devil of the trees, or the skull taker, the stories always began on the hottest summer that they could remember. In the summer of 1987, Valverde nearly broke its all-time high in temperatures. They love the heat. It must remind them of home. Everything else confirmed the truth of the stories. Proud warriors skinned and hanged, skulls and spines ripped from their bodies. Maybe it was obvious from the beginning, but it wasn't until I heard the stories that I truly accepted the purpose of these mutilations. I mean, they're taking trophies. They travel impassable distances to hunt us, skin us, and mount us over some alien fireplace on another world. It would be disgusting if it weren't so familiar. Where do I go now? It's been on my mind all year. The takeaway from all this intel is that they've been doing this for decades, centuries maybe. They're coming back, and I need to be there when they do. March 3rd, 1996, Zaire. I thought I could wait. I thought that I could hold back and make my move at the right time. I couldn't. Fuck. I had to find them. I needed to hunt it or let it hunt me. I joined up with any private military company that was headed into the hot zone. I pulled every string, cashed out every favor just to follow the sweat and the death that attracted the demon. I eventually put together a team myself. Lost soldiers and haunted men, willing to fight and to die wherever I led them. They thought that I was a legend, and I let them believe that. I'm quiet and good in what I do. They needed them to see me as a legend, so that they could take them to die in a sweltering jungle. We went on more missions than I can remember. We didn't fire until we were fired at. They thought that it was my code. It wasn't. I was waiting and watching. Our last mission was an evac op in the Congo. A private munition base had gone dark. When we arrived, they'd been dead for days. Bodies strung up on floodlights around the base, all of them skinned, some missing skulls and spines. We secured the site and waited for backup to arrive. In the heat of the day, I stared into the waves of heat coming off the concrete, thinking that any minute they might come alive as the invisible killer. And then they did. I didn't wait. I unloaded every round I had. Trusting me, my team fired in the same direction. It wasn't the first time I'd done it, but this time I knew what I was looking for. It was so fast, we couldn't hit it. We panicked, and stray rounds struck the crate of RPGs. And that explosion hit other munitions that exploded. By the time the smoke cleared, the demon was dead, but so were all my men. I took samples of its blood, pieces of its anatomy, and what tech that I could salvage. And then I burned everything. Then it disappeared. I never checked in mid-HQ. As far as I know, I was counted among the dead. March 3rd, 2008. We've gotten good at killing predators. Every time we find one, we come back with more tech, more research, and the OWLF's funding goes up. Together, we have gotten stronger and more efficient. For a time, the aliens were surprisingly predictable. They had no idea that we knew so much about them. But that began to change. They sent better hunters every time. They're beginning to see us as a threat. Or we've become a more worthy prize. Maybe both. We know this because our last encounter was special. We weren't certain if they had any gender to speak of, but that changed when we came into contact with the female. She was smarter and deadlier. She didn't fuck around like the males did. She was direct, ruthless, and skilled. I was in Laos when we first came into contact with her. It was Valverde all over again. Her ambush wiped out my entire team. Only this time, she got me. In a small village, I lost track of her, just long enough for her to pin me with a razor net. Pinned against the wall, razors cutting into my face. I've been fighting for so long, I was ready to die. I should be dead. Instead of making the kill, she cloaked and vanished into the jungle. The net relaxed, and I escaped with my life, and a scar to remember her by. She spared me. Only me. Like she knew who I was. I returned to the exfil. My first failed mission in a long time. Are we going about this wrong? I mean, we've learned so much. But in doing so, have we made ourselves a bigger target? I can't stop thinking about something Napoleon said. You must not fight too often with one enemy, or you will teach them all your art of war. I started this believing that we were learning how to hunt them, or maybe she let me live to just be hunted another day. We were teaching them how to hunt us.
See if we got time for one more before we find a match.
June 27th, 1992. It's hard to remember that the most important part of an operation is patience. You can plan the perfect op, but you can't account for everything. If shit goes south, there's nothing to do but to adapt and finish the mission. Sometimes you just get lucky. I was in the dock, 10 clicks downriver from the Valverde border, figuring out my next move. I was ready to pack it in. I thought that I learned everything that I could, that there was nothing left for me to find. The OWLF had abandoned the detonation site a year ago, and I thought that they already shipped back to America. That's when I saw Agent Peter Keyes tie his skiff to the dock. I haven't seen Keyes since I gave my official statement to him. It was impossible, but there he was, with 3 of his buddies. All agents. The clean, tidy outfits give them away all the time. They don't want to get down in the dirt, you see. That's what they pay soldiers to do. Keyes walked up, looked right at me, and shook my hand. With the radiation sickness, I've lost a lot of weight, so I thought that he maybe would not recognize me, but then he greeted me like we were old pals. Keyes is a good spy, saying nothing, implying everything. We spent the next few hours trading war stories at the bar. If you'd heard us, you would never have suspected we were trading intel on an alien manhunter. His cover was that they have been looking for a serial killer, a sadist who has been operating in the area for years, hunting people like animals and then skinning them alive. Keyes wanted to talk about the monster, so it all came out in the cover story. In many ways, they were just a few steps behind, surveying villages for information, locating witnesses. He did confirm one thing that I only considered. He told me how the killer chose his victims. They were always armed. A rifle, a pistol, a knife in the boot. He wasn't taking kids or random villages. He wanted a challenge. Whatever it was.
Okay, here we go then. What class to use? That's the next question, isn't it? Go with the Bionic again. It's the flavour of the month these days, isn't it? Gotta mute my mic and go into game chat so I can hear what...
Patch yourselves up.
Just hit the motion detector. Get yourself up.
There they are. There! Shit! What is that thing? Careful. You ain't gonna die today. Hitting the alarm! Get over here and help me. Get me up. I'm not dying today. Thanks, soldier.
Yeah.
Can't slow down. I'm hit. Mudding up.
Don't let us down.
Over here.
Ow! Careful, asshole. I'm bleeding.
Anytime.
something.
GG, you guys. Good to see you.
June 27th, 1992. It's hard to remember that the most important part of an operation is patience. You can plan the perfect op, but you can't account for everything. If shit goes south, there's nothing to do but to adapt and finish the mission. Sometimes you just get lucky. I was in the dock, 10 clicks downriver from the Valverde border, figuring out my next move. I was ready to pack it in. I thought that I learned everything that I could, that there was nothing left for me to find. The OWLF had abandoned the detonation site a year ago, and I thought that they already shipped back to America. That's when I saw Agent Peter Keyes tie his skiff to the dock. I haven't seen Keyes since I gave my official statement to him. It was impossible, but there he was, with 3 of his buddies. All agents. The clean, tidy outfits give them away all the time. They don't want to get down in the dirt, you see. That's what they pay soldiers to do. Keyes walked up, looked right at me, and shook my hand. With the radiation sickness, I've lost a lot of weight, so I thought that he maybe would not recognize me, but then he greeted me like we were old pals. Keyes is a good spy, saying nothing, implying everything. We spent the next few hours trading war stories at the bar. If you had heard us, you would never have suspected we were trading intel on an alien manhunter. His cover was that they have been looking for a serial killer, a sadist who has been operating in the area for years, hunting people like animals and then skinning them alive. Keyes wanted to talk about the monster, so it all came out in the cover story. In many ways, they were just a few steps behind, surveying villages for information, locating witnesses. He did confirm one thing that I only considered. He told me how the killer chose his victims. They were always armed. A rifle, a pistol, a knife in the boot. He wasn't taking kids or random villages. He wanted a challenge. Whatever it was a hunter. When it killed for sport. I wish they were here for a military action, recon for an invasion. But the truth was so much worse. We are prey, animals, fit only to be hunted. Keys and his buddies paid the tab and mine, but before he left, he winked at me and he said, "Stay out of the jungle. That's where he gets you." I tracked Keys and his team for weeks, but they didn't learn anything new. Maybe they knew that I was there, maybe they didn't, I don't know. I've risked enough for now. I think it's time to disappear. Keep my ear to the ground. January 13th, 2019. I knew that the Predator's deployment to Earth would make it impossible to keep all of this a secret. Sooner or later there would be another player on the board. I'd hoped that it would be another agency, one that understood and respected the threat. Project Stargazer. Our initial intelligence on Stargazer was that they were capable, funded, but inexperienced. But they were smart. They took the OWLF's funding and got it shut down. Everyone we could identify in their group was a disavowed member of another agency, including the OWLF. Lacking strong leadership and a clear directive, they were sloppy and arrogant. They were aware of the Predator's threat, and while they had many of the pieces, they struggled to see the bigger picture. Stargazer was so far behind that we didn't see them as a threat until the event in Mexico. The recovered Predator escape pod was an extraordinary find for Stargazer, but the death toll was a heavy price to pay for taking a Predator captive. My task force has many directives, but one of the most primary is we do not take captives. Retrieve technology, corpses, and other intelligence. But there's no value in a live Predator, only liability. The enemy does not want peace. The enemy does not negotiate. Its only drive on Earth is to hunt. What we might learn from a captive Predator would never be worth the risk to our people. Stargazer didn't learn from their mistakes, and the technology they've recovered has only made them cocky. When the government cut ties to the agency, it should have shuttered their project permanently, but they only shifted their goals. Guerrilla factions and private military companies are being contracted by Stargazer to set up bases and equipment in locations that we have identified as ideal hunting grounds. We believe that the former intelligence project is setting itself up to be a fully independent dealer of otherworldly arms. This is the worst-case scenario. Hostile forces will use those weapons on their enemies, and they will use them on us. All the while, the true enemy stalks us unseen. It's a distraction mankind can't afford. Stargazer would have to be dealt with. 2025. It's hard to believe that I'm still here recording this. I probably shouldn't be smoking in a med bay, but fuck it, it's my birthday, for Christ's sakes. I turned 78 today, but I'm out there hunting. I should be retired. I should be doing anything but this. My life shouldn't be possible. But the very thing that I hunt, that hunts me, is what's keeping me alive. As we began to understand the Predator's technology, we started to use it. A fight with a Predator female went bad, and I was critically wounded. Dying, I agreed to experimentation. It worked. It worked so well that the cells in my body stopped aging. Pushing 80 now, I'm fighting like a man in his 40s. It's not the only experiment that I've been part of. I'm deadlier now than I was in Valverde. The OWLF has been fully reinstated. It's grown larger than ever before. We saved John Keyes from Stargazer. His father was Peter Keyes. I suppose you could say that he was a very dear acquaintance. His son is a gifted scientist. I worry about the future. The Earth is seeing unprecedented rise in heat and war. As the climate changes and the temperatures go up, more and more countries are becoming hunting grounds. We've killed so many of their kind, but they only send more. The number of events that we've witnessed has increased threefold in 10 years. We have made an impression on them, but not like we had hoped. We wanted to show them that we weren't prey, to deter them from ever sending another hunter to our world. We sent a warning, but they took it as a challenge. I fear we have made things worse. If the predators ever decide that we've grown too bold, I have no doubt that they could burn the earth and all of humanity with it. My only hope is that while they waste their time on sport, we can rise up together and stand against them as a species. Until then, we keep moving, we keep hunting, and we keep our eyes open. October 12, 1997, Los Angeles. I needed to come back to the States. It wasn't impossible to sneak contraband through customs, but I wasn't willing to risk what I found in the Congo falling into the wrong hands. Instead, I traveled to Mexico aboard a cargo ship bound for the port of Altamira. From there, I made my way to Tijuana, and I bunkered down. I had tangible proof of extraterrestrial life in my possession, but no idea what to do with it. I'm not a scientist. I did a soldier's duty and secured valuable intel. This was out of my pay grade. I kept an eye on the news. Los Angeles was having a record-breaking heat wave and a gang war on the streets. It was perfect. I could feel it in my bones. I'd been tracking them for so long, I could think like them. I could smell the prey. I could see the hunting ground. I had to get to LA. Crossing back into the States from Tijuana wasn't that difficult, but by the time that I'd reached the city, it was already over. Like Valverde, the OWLF only found crumbs. What I'd hoped might be an alien ship turned out to be only a launching site. I wanted it too much, and I got sloppy. I breached the OWLF's quarantine and was captured. I'd hoped to be bailed out by Agent Keyes, but he died. With Keyes gone, the OWLF was leaderless and disorganized. I was interrogated, but I negotiated my release by bartering the alien materials that I'd recovered from the Congo. During the negotiations, it was clear how little they knew. They needed someone who understood the threat, so I offered to work with the OWLF as a consulting advisor. They had the funding, the technology that I needed to continue my hunt. I wouldn't work for them, but I would work with them. There will be a weapon that I can use to hunt down these predators as they move to fresh ground. It's only a matter of time until they see us as a real threat. When the prey can fight back, it's no longer a hunt. It is war.
And just like that, we've run out of Dutch tapes. Well, field lock as it is, hoping for something good. Ah, and we lost it. Damn it. Now, might have to finish off with a quick round as the fire team. What do we got? Super Predator. Tivak, Neo Zaith, Eileen, Lean,
We
666.
got word that Stargazer successfully secured a Predator body. After some consideration, we've decided that attempting to remove the body is too risky. Our current plans are to infiltrate, track down, and destroy any evidence of its existence. But before we do, let's make sure we secure as much related research material as possible.
Voodoo is away. Good hunting.
Okay.
Getting mudded up.
Voodoo, marking the first location on your map now.
Sorry, buddy. Blue's not coming.
First aid right there.
Oh, and he's killed a pig already. Holy shit. Oh, there we go. Blue's on the move. Ugh. So bright.
He's coming this way.
Shit, that's a lot of guards. They really don't want to lose this body. Take them all out, fire team.
Cover me. I'm reloading. There you are.
You're gonna have to unload on that door. It shouldn't take
Oh, he's
too
got a
much to
motion
bust it
detector
down.
out.
Looks like all guards are inside. Kill them.
And we got the buddy.
Fuck, they baited us. Nobody's here. Access the nearby terminal so I can do some digging. Stand by while I look around for where they moved the body. Hopefully it's not on site.
Ammo here.
Where's that coming from?
Good news. They only shifted locations for security reasons when they caught wind of us making a move. Heading to that point now.
Contact mark.
Still Brooks. I'm done.
Ammo. Stock up.
Take two, you greedy bastard.
Shoot anything that moves. Well, down here is over here. Let's hope they don't find you.
Oh shit.
Eyes open.
This way.
It's good for the pores.
Going up the tree.
Check these coordinates.
Voodoo, stick to your mission. You wouldn't believe me if I told you what's out there.
Let's finish the mission. Frag out. Reloading. Over here. Stay on it. Focus on the mission.
Ammo here.
Mudding up.
Did I just see a drop of blood? No! He's just gotten a piggy.
There, I just marked the ringleader of this op. Kill him and take his passcode.
There.
Those passcodes should open the locked research door nearby.
Always nearby. Scary, scary.
That worked? Perfect. Clear the room, fire team.
Oh,
Time is of the essence, fire team. Collect all the intel you can and grab a picture of the body.
oh fuck. Good one. Excellent work, Couscous.
I need ammo.
Nice. Oh, those rockets are doing you some great favors, buddy.
For maximum effect. Hold the location and make sure that explosive goes off, Voodoo.
Chase time.
Can't let him have this.
I don't know where he went. Oh, he was close too.
They'll never see me coming.
I
Contact.
always hate to see wasted potential, but trying to get that out of here would have been way too risky. Let's get you out of there, fire team.
What are they doing? They're coming this way? Whoa!
Fire team members down.
Yay!
That's never a good sign. Take it down! Oh, take that, you ugly motherfucker! Go, go, go!
The OWLF. You've been involved in an incident with an otherworldly race. You're assuming jurisdiction. Guard the body until we arrive and you will be compensated for your efforts.
Don't let them take that body. Do everything you can to stop them.
Enemy spotted. Cover me. Contact.
Changing mags!
Hostile spotted.
Pulling over the site now. Hold your ground, Voodoo.
Got some help for you, Voodoo. Just mention this location on your map.
Given its condition, this body is valuable to our research department. Your bonus will reflect the work you've done today.
Ooh, Eileen getting the damage. Well done. That must have been the rockets one, I'll bet. All right, that's going to have to do it for now. So thanks for hanging out. I guess I'll catch you again next time. Be safe, be well, look after yourself.